So do you also use Facebook lead ads to get more leads for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to add Facebook lead ads leads in Notion with Pabbly Connect. So over here I'm running a real estate agency and we use Facebook lead ads to get more leads for our business. So now what I want is that as soon as a new lead is generated through Facebook lead ads, I want to add that same lead details into my Notion database to organize everything better. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Facebook lead ads and Notion. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So I'm going to do all of this so that I can convert my potential clients or my leads into paying clients. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen.
Welcome to my screen, everyone. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how to set up an automation using Pabbly Connect to automatically add new Facebook leads into Notion. So this integration ensures that your leads are captured and organized in real time, right? So let's get started with a really simple example. So as you can see that this is my agency, which is Prime Properties, right? And I'm running Facebook lead ads to get more leads for my business, okay? So as you can see that this is my lead gen form. So let's suppose I'm going to fill in this lead gen form as dummy lead, okay? So I'm just going to fill in this lead gen form, and yes, you can see that we have successfully filled in this lead gen form. And now what has happened is that the details of this lead which we submitted right now, which is the name dummy lead, has been added to our Notion database. So I'm going to open my Notion, and yes, you can see the details have been added. You can see name dummy lead, you can see email lead@pabblytuts.com, the phone number and the property of interest which we entered, right? So yes, this was a really simple example of what we are going to learn today. So if you also want to learn this process and add your Facebook lead ads directly into Notion within minutes, then you have to watch this full video. So what we are going to do is, in order to create a connection between Facebook lead ads and Notion, we are going to use Pabbly Connect, as I've already mentioned in my introduction, right? And in order to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of hours free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in. And as soon as we're going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, which is Facebook lead ads and Notion, right? So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we're going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here, I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations. And on my dashboard, you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. So if you wish to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this hyperlink given right over here which says learn more. And now it is asking me for the workflow name. So I want the workflow name to be this, which says how to add Facebook lead ads leads in Notion with Pabbly Connect. Facebook lead ads to Notion. And then we are going to click on create. And as soon as we're going to click on create, it is opening the most important window for automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So by this you can finally understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And in order to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as Facebook lead ads, right? Because I want that as soon as a new lead is received through my Facebook lead ads, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for Facebook lead ads and then we are going to select it. And now it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So over here, I want that as soon as a new lead is captured, my workflow should be started. So I'm going to select the same as my trigger event and then we are going to click on connect. And as soon as I'm going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Facebook lead ads account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection and then we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Facebook lead ads. And as soon as I'm going to click on this button, it is asking me to select my Facebook account, right? So I'm just going to select my Facebook account right over here and click on continue. And as soon as I'm going to click on continue, continue, once again we have to click on this continue as Jessie right over here. And as soon as going to click on continue once again, yes, you can see that we have successfully created a connection between our Facebook lead ads and our Pabbly's workflow. Over here you can see connected, and after connecting this Facebook lead ads with our Pabbly Connect's workflow, it is asking me for the page and the lead gen form. So as you can see, the name of my Facebook page is Prime Properties, right? So we're going to select the same right over here in the page, which is Prime Properties. So I'm going to look for Prime Properties and then we are going to select it. And after selecting the page, we have to select the lead gen form right over here. So I've created multiple lead gen forms for this page, but I'm going to select one from this only, which is lead form new, because I want to create this automation only for this particular form. If you wish to create this automation for all your lead gen forms, you can select all lead gen forms or any another particular form. So this is the particular form I'm going to select for which I want to create this automation. And after selecting this, we are going to click on this button which says save and send as request. And as soon as going to click on this button, it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what we are going to do is I'm going to put my lead gen forms again, and we are going to submit another test lead, or we can say dummy lead, in order to capture this webhook response and test our connection. Okay, so I'm going to open a new tab, and then we are going to look for Meta for developers right over here. So I'm going to search for Meta for developers, and then we're going to open this landing page of Meta for developers. And after opening this, we have to go on resources, developer tools, and now we're going to scroll and look for lead ads RTO debug tool. And as you can see the same, so we're going to select it, and now it is opening my lead ads testing tool. So what we have to do is we have to select the same page and the form which we selected in our workflow right over here too. So for the page, I'm going to select it as Prime Properties. So I'm going to look for Prime Properties right over here, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it. And now for the form, we are going to select it as lead form new, and then we're going to click on preview form. And now once again, we are going to fill in this lead gen form and do the test submission. So it is saying type of property you are interested in. So let's say I'm going to keep it as residential property. It is saying first name, I'm going to keep it as demo. It is asking me for the last name. Let's say I'm going to keep it as user right over here. So I'm going to enter user. And now it is asking me for the email. I'm going to keep the email as demo@pabblytunes.com. So I'm going to enter it. We are going to move on forward. For the phone number, I want the phone number to be this. So I'm going to enter it right over here. Street address as right over here. For the city, I'm going to keep it as Indore, so I'm going to enter Indore right over here. For the state, once again, I'm going to keep it as Madhya Pradesh only, so I'm going to enter Madhya Pradesh right over here. We are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the zip code. So first we're going to select India right over here because I'm over here in India, and after entering all of these details, we are going to click on continue and then submit. And as I'm going to click on submit right over here, yes, you can see your test lead has been sent. So yes, with this we have successfully sent the details of our test lead to our workflow. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response for the same or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured response A, and these are the same details which we entered. You can see the type of property you are interested in. You can see the first name, the last name, the email, the phone number, the street address, city, state, zip code. So yes, you can see that these are the same details which we entered in our test submission, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our Facebook lead ad step, which is the trigger step. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new lead is received from my Facebook lead ads, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the response and trigger this workflow. So now further what I want is I want to add Facebook lead ads in Notion, right? So for my action application, I'm going to select it as Notion. So I'm going to search for Notion right over here, and as you can see Notion, so we are going to select it. And as I was going to select the action application as Notion, it is asking me for the action event. So basically I'm going to select my action event as create database item because this is the command I want to give to Notion, right? And then we're going to click on connect, and as I was going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection and select existing connection once again. So if you have already connected your Notion account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me once again, click on add a new connection, and once again we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Notion. And as soon as I'm going to click on this button which says connect with Notion, over here you can see that Pabbly is requesting for some permission right over here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for. So what we are going to do is I'm going to click on this select pages right over here, and over here you can select the pages for which you want to give Pabbly the permissions to access, right? So over here the name of my Notion page is real estate leads, right? So I'm going to select the same page right over here. If you wish, you can select all of these pages too, but I'm going to select only one and click on allow access. And as I'm going to click on allow access right over here, it is saying authorizing, and yes, you can see authorization successful. So yes, with this we have successfully connected our Notion account with our Pabbly's workflow, and over here you can see that it has already selected my database which I selected in the connection, right? So as you can see that this is the same database which we have right over here too. So now what we are going to do is I'm going to enter all of these details one by one, which is property of interest, phone number, email and name. So you can notice that these are the same details which we have entered right over here in the columns of our database, right? We're going to fill in these details one by one from the details which we received from the response of Facebook lead ads. So for the property of interest, I'm going to fill it as residential property, first name and last name. So we're going to fill all of these details right over here in our Notion, okay? But we're not going to copy paste the details or enter it manually, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping, right? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Facebook lead ads as our trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So over here, I'm going to give you an example that it is asking me for the property of interest, right? So let's suppose I'm going to enter the property of interest right over here manually by typing it or copy pasting it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if we are going to map this from the previous response, suppose I'm going to open my previous response and as you can see the same. So let's suppose we are going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change, right? So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. And after mapping the property of interest, we're going to map all of these details, which is phone number, email and name too, okay? So I'm going to look for phone in the previous response and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to map the email too. I'm going to look for email in the previous response and as you can see demo@pabblydudes.com. Same we're going to do with the name. I'm going to look for name, but as you can notice that we have name in first name and last name, okay? So first we're going to map the first name, put a space and then we're going to map the last name. And after mapping all of these details, we're going to move on forward and click on this button which says save and send as request. And as soon as we're going to click on this button, yes, you can see that we have successfully received a positive response that we have added these details into our Notion database. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Notion and check for the same details which we received in the response, right? So I'm going to open my Notion database and as you can see the details have been added right away successfully. You can see the name, you can see the email, the phone number and the property of interest are ditto same which we entered, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, but I'll just test this workflow once and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what we are going to do is I'm going to put my lead ads testing tool once again and we're going to create another lead and check our workflow is running in real time or not, okay? But in order to create a new lead, first we have to delete the previous one. So I'm going to click on this delete lead and also we are going to refresh this page. It is really important to delete the lead and refresh the page, otherwise you will not be able to create a new lead or preview a new form, okay? Once again we are going to select the page as prime properties and then for the form we are going to select it as lead form new and click on preview form. Once again, we are going to fill in the details for the type of property you are interested in. Let's keep it as residential only. First name as test right over here, last name as user only. And now it is asking me for the email. So I want the email to be test@pabblydudes.com. So I'm going to enter it. And now for the phone number, I'm going to keep the phone number as this. And after entering this phone number for the street address, I'm going to keep it as new. For the city, I'm going to keep it as, let's say, Bhopal only right over here. So I'm going to enter it. For the state, once again, we are going to keep it as Madhya Pradesh. So I'm going to enter Madhya Pradesh right over here. And now it is asking me for the zip code. Once again, I'm going to select India right over here. And then we're going to enter the zip code, which is this. And after entering the zip code, I'm going to click on continue and then submit. And as soon as I'm going to click on submit, yes, you can see your test lead has been sent. So yes, with this, we have successfully sent another test lead. So now what has happened is the lead ads testing tool has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response and triggered the workflow. And further added the lead details into our Notion database. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open my Notion and check for the new lead details added. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my Notion right from here. And yes, you can see the new lead details added. You can see the name, which is test user. You can see the email which we entered, the phone number and the property of interest which we entered. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow and it is running perfectly fine in test submission too. So yes, now what will happen is that as soon as we receive a new Facebook lead, automatically the details would be added into our Notion database without any manual efforts. So yes, now I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. For the trigger application, we selected Facebook lead ads. For the trigger event, we selected new lead instant. For the action application, we selected Notion. And then for the action event, we selected create database item because I wanted to automate my lead management for my real estate agency with Facebook lead ads, Pabbly Connect and Notion. And yes, we were successful with our workflow too. Over here, you can see the lead details I added during this video with the help of my workflow. So yes, this this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.